You are now listening to Feeding Off Each Other.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome. This is the Christmas Feeding Off Each Other special. Welcome. This is our weekly podcast where we feed off the talent, humor, knowledge, and awesome stories of our guests and each other. I'm Matt Dennison, and I'm joined by Jason Lucas. Jason Lucas? Wait a second. Where's Jason? Where is he?
He's sick.
He's sick.
He's always sick.
He's so freaking sick, dude.
This time he's even sicker.
Jason is sadly sick, and he will not be on the podcast today. So if you're here for Jason, you can just turn this off right now, and don't waste your time.
Oh, our listenership just went down to 0.
Retention went down negative, and that's okay, because I am also joined by David the Salmon Wiggins.
Hello.
And if you don't understand that reference, you might need to watch the David Wiggins interview that we did.
The special.
The David Wiggins special. How did you enjoy being interviewed?
I liked it, but we had limited time, so I felt rushed.
We spent half the time talking about other stuff.
Yeah,
it's okay. We should have more of those, and eventually you're gonna have to do one on me too.
Yeah, I figured we would have done you before me.
I wanted to learn more about you. I feel like.
Do you feel like you learned anything?
Definitely. I mean, now I know you're the salmon. That was a pretty fun story.
I felt like we mostly did like my childhood. I left that recording kind of feeling like I hadn't done anything in my adult life.
Yeah.
Felt very.
Yeah. We didn't really ask about like previous jobs, I guess,
Yeah.
And we just ran out of time.
Yeah.
And we also didn't learn about your broken leg that you broke during a hockey game.
Mm-hmm.
Save that one though.
Yeah.
We'll save that for the next David Wiggins special.
It's one of those. It is that classic thing though, where someone's like, "Hey, tell us your story. Like do this," and your brain just kind of seizes up, and you feel like you have no actual thoughts in your brain.
Yeah, it's hard. I feel like usually I can talk pretty freely on these things. Sorry, I had a stroke.
Yeah.
I can usually talk pretty freely on these podcasts, but as soon as you probably interview me, I'm going to have another stroke.
Yeah.
So I look forward to that. But this is this Christmas special. Mm-hmm. And as you can tell, if you are watching, we have a Christmas tree here. I guess we've had a Christmas tree for the last few episodes, but that's fine.
But this time we're talking about it.
Yeah, and we got the eggnog, and we have other Christmas adult beverages. Mm-hmm. Cheers. Merry Christmas to you. Jason is sadly sick, and I think I know why. That is because we went on a snowy night ride the other night. I guess that was 2 nights ago now.
Yeah.
And it was really, really hard on our bodies.
I knew you guys were going out to do a video. I didn't remember it was I thought it was night, meaning, the sun goes down at 5 p.m. and you'll shoot for like 2 hours. And then I saw you guys finished at 1 in the morning or something? Maybe?
Yeah, it was about 1. But here's the thing. Jason, I feel like every year he gets sick. And I was going to tell Brooke, before the night ride thing, I feel like Jason's about to get sick. I feel like this is like his annual illness thing.
Like he gets sick once a year?
I feel like he gets sick every year around this time, at least once. But he disagrees with me and he says, no, I don't. I rarely get sick. But the thing is, I feel like I rarely get sick. I feel like I only get sick every few years. Last time I got sick was actually last year. And then before that, I feel like it was 2 or 3 years before that. But when I get sick, it usually kind of sucks, obviously.
I feel like I get sick a good once a year.
But I feel like Jason gets sick once a year and he denies it. But the thing is, he's not here. He can't deny it. He can't defend himself. So I guess I'm just right in this moment.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I didn't realize how extreme your ride was until I saw the next day you posted on Instagram pictures of yourselves. You guys have icicle-y beards.
Yeah.
And eyelashes and stuff. And I was like, shit, I was sleeping.
Yeah, it was brutal. You want to hear about it a little bit more?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason we did this ride was because we had these new Trek night lights that we agreed to make a video for in the summer. Mm-hmm. We left it too long. So we planned to do this sometime within the last month. And next thing you know, it's insane snowpocalypse here in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. So we really had no issue. And we wanted to get this done, put a bow on it before the end of the year. So we had no option. We met at about 7 p.m. in the Lonsdale Quay, which is right by the water here in North Vancouver. And we e-biked from the water up to Frome, pretty much like the lowest mountain bike trail you can get to, called bobsled. And we filmed the whole thing, and we vlogged it, and we talked about the lights, we talked about how we were feeling and all that. And it started off pretty rough. When you're starting from zero, you have no blood flowing really, like your blood's not pumping.
Yeah.
That was particularly very hard. But we got to a London Drugs where we were testing the lights on a wall to kind of demonstrate what these lights do. Basically, they have like this cutoff pattern where the light it's not like a regular circular light on the wall. It just is a flat cutoff so that you don't blind pedestrians oncoming. Mm-hmm. So we're demonstrating that, and all of a sudden I had this weird hot flash, but I was also freezing, and I got super lightheaded, and I thought I was about to faint. And then all of a sudden I felt like I had to go to the bathroom, and I had so many layers of clothing on. Mm-hmm. I had this head cap on under my helmet. I had 2 pairs of gloves, and my head was like burning, but my hands were so cold, and my hands and fingers were so cold that it was making my wrists hurt. And my body was just so confused, and I legitimately thought that I might faint. And I was like, I had to like crouch down, and I told Jason, like, hold on, I'm going through a wave of pain right now. Like, this is crazy. Mm-hmm. And he was fine. He's like, yeah, take your time. And I actually went into the London Drugs to go to the public bathroom, and I realized I was wearing a full body chamois, like over the shoulders,
which is hard to get out of.
Yeah, I would have to take off my whole ensemble to do the business. Yeah. And so I decided, you know what? Actually, I think I'm getting through the wave of pain.
I think I'm
here.
just gonna pee my pants.
Yes, pee. And anyways, I got over it, but I didn't think I was gonna make it, because I started to think about, holy crap, am I gonna make it out into the forest? What if I start to feel like this in the middle of the forest? I'm screwed, because we're all the way out there, and it's like, no, it's gonna be hard for someone to rescue us.
Like, you were thinking you were gonna have a medical emergency.
Yeah, basically, I thought I was gonna maybe faint out there, because so it was -7, mm-hmm. Probably felt like it was -11, I don't know, some degrees colder.
Celsius for our American followers.
And if you're listening from Saskatchewan or the Yukon or Russia, of course we're pathetic. And
honestly, I'm so sick of people that are from cold climates bragging about how much colder their winters are. Like, you'll be like, oh man, it's really cold out. And they'll be like, oh, -10?
Yeah.
I take shits in -50 and it's fun. Like, you're like, okay, it's cool. You have a different life experience than me.
It's also like when we go on a long bike ride, there's always someone who can bike ride longer.
Sure.
Yeah. Someone's always better than you, especially when you're putting it out there on the internet.
People love to just point out the thing that they're more I mean, we all do it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
so anyways, yes, to those out there who live in a colder climate, we are soft, but we're not used to that all the time. So it was super cold. Anyways, I thought I was going to faint, but as we kept going, felt a little better, as we're getting the shots in the bag, we feel more accomplished. Mm-hmm. And we even had people cheering us on. There was 2 kids upper Lonsdale, and they yelled at us, "You guys are animals! You guys are animals!" And really gave us an extra boost to keep going. And at another point, there was a bus driver who was just standing beside his bus, and he said, "You guys are awesome!" And he just pointed at us and got us stoked. So we were feeling good. And then once we got to the trails, we were warming up. It was weird. Like, you would feel flashes of cold, your toes would go absolutely numb, your certain fingers would be cold, and then 5 minutes later, everything's fine, and you feel totally normal, and you're warm again. Mm-hmm. And then the cycle just continued. But
literally.
Yeah, the bicycle continued. And you know what? It was really hard, and we David Goggins the shit out of it.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who David Goggins is?
No.
He's like the epitome of staying hard and staying mentally tough.
So like a Viagra spokesperson?
No, he's a spokesperson for pushing through the hard times.
I don't know what that means.
Check him out. He wrote a book. Actually, I think he's on his 2nd book now. He's a dude who started off as a overweight guy drinking milkshakes every day, and then he went into the military and just completely destroyed himself in his knees, and now he's an ultra marathon runner, and he just does these insane runs.
Sounds terrible.
And he puts himself through insane workouts. I think it's he's like you love him or you hate him kind of guy.
Right. Like a Gary Vaynerchuk.
Kinda, because he pushes you to not stop grinding and push through the pain, whereas some people appreciate comforts and, taking a break. He's like, no breaks. Let's do this shit. Are you looking him up there? Yeah.
Okay. Before he wasn't like fat. He was just like he looked like a security guard.
Yeah. Before?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I
did. He looks like a linebacker. Now he looks like a gazelle.
Yeah. I did read his book, and the way that he describes his early days drinking milkshakes, like he talks heavily about being a piece of shit. He used to be a piece of shit. It's hard to get on the soundboard when there's only two of us, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that extra third wheel.
Wait. No, the moment's passed.
So anyways, I listened to a little bit of David Wiggins. Not David Wiggins. What the hell's his name? David Goggins.
I mean, they're close names.
Yeah, and close type of person.
They're both Dave Iggins.
Yeah. Anyways, he was kind of in the back of my mind, and I also had this same conversation with Jason in the middle of the ride, and I told him who David Goggins is, and then after the ride, one of our friends, Kyle, he hit us up. And he said, "Of course, you guys would go on a David Goggins ride."
Oh, that's like, so funny.
That's so funny. I just listened to him on that. Anyways, we will make a video, and Jason's working on that despite being sick. God bless his soul. He's David Gogginsing the shit out of that edit right now, and you'll get to see our adventures. It was well worth it. It was like the type 2 fun where it's fun, maybe not in the moment at all times, but when you look back. Well, I don't know how Jason feels, but because now he feels shitty, but he was pretty stoked in the moment. We were getting some pretty cool shots out there in the snow.
Jason's not a person I know to be full of any sort of regret.
Yeah.
He's the most easygoing person. Yeah. Like he just motors through and it's just like, okay.
Totally. And it's funny because he'll never really like admit that he's like hungry or he's in pain.
Oh my God. He's never hungry. He's never tired.
He's never tired. His fingers are never cold despite he never wears gloves.
I've never heard him complain.
Yeah, he's not much of a complainer.
It makes me feel like a real piece of shit.
It's funny because he's it doesn't seem like a Vancouverite who would normally complain.
Fucking Jason!
But I swear he was at his breaking point. He was so close because this is one of the rare times he actually wore gloves on the bike ride. And at the end of the ride, easily the worst part of the ride, because we're just going downhill. We're not in the trees anymore. The wind chill is at full impact. And it was so painful. It's so painful. And my ears were just burning. Neck was super cold. And Jason's hands were like just freezing. And I could tell he like wanted to get the hell out of there and go home.
That's like when we were in Moab and we went up to the arches and we finally got up to the arches, and that's the coldest I can remember being in a little while.
Yeah.
Just because we were all so underdressed and no gloves, and Jason was he was in like shorts and stuff though. He was in a way worse position than me and not complaining.
Well, Jason's motto, he'll always say, "I run hot."
That's true.
I run hot.
I do not run hot.
I run cold.
Yeah.
If I don't have 2 pairs of gloves on, my fingers are gonna turn purple.
It's no good.
Yeah. But we hope you get soon, Jason.
You just said we hope you get soon.
We hope you get soon. So I was trying to read at the same time. We hope you get well soon, Jason.
Yeah.
We hope.
We hope you get well hung, Jason.
Yeah, but it is the snowpocalypse here. It's been an exciting week in Vancouver.
It feels like you're living in a different city completely when it snows in Vancouver, because it snows here. We'll get like a dabble of snow, a bit here, bit there every year, but this is like quite a bit of snow, especially for us.
Yeah, this might be. I don't know. I was trying to think like when's the biggest snowfall occurred in my lifetime. I think it was 1997, 1998.
I remember there was one year where it was like school was firmly shut for a week or something. And we just made forts and did snowball fights and threw snowballs at cars and all that shit.
Well, yeah, I lived on 7 Road in Richmond at the time, which is just like farmland. And yeah, I remember it snowed. It's hard to tell because I was such a, I was so short. I was like, what, I guess 5 or 6 years old at the time. So if you get a foot of snow, it probably seems like it's like 3 feet.
Yeah.
But I do think that it snowed like 2 feet that year or something. And I recalled that people were jumping off their roofs just to land in the snow because it was so soft.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real novelty for us. But then the worst part, though, is it stops snowing, and then it turns into ice, and then it turns into that brown stuff, and then it's just depressing.
Yeah. Classic Vancouver, though, of course, like kind of, turns into chaos. But
yeah,
I was like, so I'm on Reddit pretty regularly, right? And Reddit loves to shit on Vancouver. Like I'm on that Vancouver Reddit. It's like
they shit on themselves.
Yeah, they shit on themselves, and they always just like kind of put down Vancouverites for their lack of foresight with snow and snow tires, and just the fact that people are driving in this kind of weather. Like, but what do you think? Do you think that this doesn't just occur in Vancouver? Like, I think that in like Montreal, Toronto, anywhere with snow,
I think
these things happen.
No, people I think these things happen way more frequently in places that don't get snow with, that much regularity. Like when it rains a ton in, Palm Desert, it floods there and like people don't drive and it becomes us with snow basically. So it's not rocket science. It's if your city doesn't, get subjected to a certain type of weather all the time, you're just not going to be that good at dealing with it. Plus, I mean, we have a lot of people that aren't from here, people that are from other countries that don't snow probably. So it's not crazy that it happens. It's like, and every year it's like, okay, here come the memes about buses being in the side of hills.
Yeah.
And people not knowing. I do think people need to have a bit more of a healthy fear of driving in snow if they don't have snow tires.
Yeah, I think if you don't have to drive, just don't drive.
Yeah, just don't. Just
like you don't have to. You could probably say no. So we actually were going to have a different guest on.
That's true.
We were going to have I won't spoil it. We were going to have the winner of Pink Bike Academy for you mountain bikers out there listening. If you follow along.
Oh, you weren't going to spoil who it is.
Yeah, I wasn't going to spoil who won.
Gotcha.
If you haven't watched it yet, as a fan of the show, but we were going to have the winner come on, but it snowed, and so we made the decision to just tell him to stay. Oh, stay. I mean, sorry, I shouldn't say him or her,
or they,
or they, to stay home and not come on the podcast. But yeah.
I was gonna say something maybe else revealing, but anyways.
But my point was, Vancouverites, we're not that special. Like this happens in other places. Like in other places, like say New York, when there's like crazy snowstorms, the whole city shuts down. When it snows at the airports, the airport shuts down. Flights can't come in. We're not special.
It wouldn't make that much sense for a city that doesn't get that much snow to invest in massive infrastructure for one snowfall a year. But if you're Toronto and it snows all winter, like let's put the money into the infrastructure to deal with the snow.
I saw a post that someone had videotaped a person on a one of those group or like city share Shaw bikes.
Right.
Yeah. Just like, you swipe your card and you take a bike.
Yeah.
And they were just filming this dude riding through the snowstorm, and they were like, only in Vancouver. And then my first reaction was, I'm sure this happens somewhere else. I'm sure someone else is riding a bike. Like, why do you think we're so special here?
Well, that's the thing. Everyone, good or bad, everyone wants to be some version of special. So it's like they want their city to be the most, the worst
dumbest.
at this, or like, like the dumbest, or it's like when people say about kind of anything, either you love it or hate it. Some people just kind of like it too. Then you realize, it's kind of a nonsensical statement, right? When people say you either love it or hate it, I'm like, I think there's gradations to everything.
Yeah.
I just hit the microphone with my face.
Oh, well, at least you didn't leave words out and have a stroke like me. That's fine.
I hope you get soon well, Jason.
That's me, man.
Matt in the morning, what's up with you?
Oh, that was wild sounding.
There was some reverb?
Yeah, it was really echoey.
Oh, I didn't play the sound I wanted to play at the top of the podcast.
I'll do it
Stay
now.
a while and listen.
Oh, you talked over. I'm going to play it again.
Stay a while and listen.
Do you know where this one's from?
No.
You can take one guess.
Do it again.
All right. dropping in.
Stay a while and listen.
I have no idea.
This is from a game called Diablo 2.
Why would I? How would I guess that?
I
if
don't
I
know,
hadn't
man.
Played it?
When we were at a party, our friend Mike, I was showing him my Nintendo Switch and Diablo because I'm fully addicted to it right now. Fully in it. I'm a level 80 sorceress for all those who know Diablo.
Sorry, ladies, he's taken.
I'm taken. Just me and my sorceress.
That's what
and he was, and Mike was like, he's like, oh, is Deckard Cain in it? Does he say stay a while and listen? And then I said, yeah, he does. Hey, that's a good sound effect for the podcast. I should put that on the podcast.
Okay.
So here's the moment. Really shoehorned it in here.
Yeah.
Hey, soundboarding's hard when it's just two of us.
That kind of work here, pal.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? Put that down.
Is that Jason calling in?
No, that was Buddy the Elf.
Are we going to hear from Jason at all in this podcast?
We might.
Yeah?
Yeah, do we want to get to it?
I think maybe we should find out if we left him a message. We did ask Jason to leave us a SpeakPipe today. I don't know if he's if he can even speak, what exactly is wrong with him.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Hey guys, it's Jason calling. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I'm just like so sick. Guys, turn it down. I told you, I'm telling them I can't come. Sorry guys about the noise. It's just my neighbors are so loud. I don't know, maybe they're hosting a... Oh, guys, come on. It's hard for me to believe that I'm sick. Come on, turn it down. Yeah, sorry I couldn't make it, guys. I'm just so sick. See you in the next pod. Guys!
Whoa. Classic Jason.
He put some good love into that.
That was quite a bit of production.
Legitness.
That was hilarious.
Do you want to hear the next one? We have two. I believe we have.
Wait, so is he actually sick? Now I'm starting to believe that he just didn't want to come to the podcast.
Yeah, I think he was trying to avoid us.
Yeah, you think so? Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'd rather not take the chance and get sick. I don't want to get sick.
No, I kind of like that more modern policy where it's like, let's just stay divided.
Yeah.
Before it was always like, power through everything.
David Goggins that party. David Goggins the shit out of that party. Yeah.
I think like in counter to a sort of David Goggins, there are times where you should stop and you should rest and you should not power through X, Y, or Z.
Well, David Goggins is never going to come on this podcast now and speak with us because he thinks we're soft.
Good. Okay.
He wasn't invited in the first place.
You want to hear the next one? It's from Bernice.
Sure.
Hello? 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 Yes, hello. My name is Bernice, and I live in the apartment above Matthew, and I hear every word you boys say on your little internet radio talk show. And I just want to say, must you use so many naughty words? Every time I hear a nasty curse word come up through my floorboards, it reminds me of my nightmarish childhood during the Great Depression. So please, if you could, keep the language polite. Oh, and one more thing. Can't you get some better guests on your show? Someone glamorous like Doris Day or Judy Garland. In my day, you couldn't get on Jackie Gleason just for riding a bicycle. You had to have a real talent. But I just don't understand the world anymore. Oh, heavens. How do you stop this thing? I'm done recording now. Stop, please. Stop recording. I'm done. Oh, heavens to my goodness. Stop recording. Stop.
You're telling me that my upstairs neighbor can hear every word we're saying?
Yeah.
Fuck my life.
Oh my God, that's embarrassing. Well, I'm sorry. What was her name? Doris?
Bernice.
Bernice?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I just went to Doris right away.
I think she said Doris Day.
Okay. Well, sorry, Bernice, but I'm glad that you, I guess, listen to the podcast because you apparently know how to leave us a SpeakPipe.
She's a fan.
But yeah, she's a fan.
Do you know what we call our fans?
Should we say it at the same time?
Should we introduce this for the first time?
Yeah, should we say it at the same time?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Chuthers. That's what we're going with. The options were feeders, bottom feeders, or chuthers. Chuthers is just, it's like a new word.
It is a new word.
And it's nice to know that Bernice is a fellow Chuther.
She's a Chuther. She's going to be in the Chuther calendar next year.
Oh my goodness.
It's a bathing suit
Bernice,
edition.
Bernice, if you are listening to this podcast, we would love to have you on the next pod.
Also, leave a comment on our YouTube or Instagram or somewhere if you like the word Chuthers.
yeah.
Or if you got another suggestion.
If you identify as a Chuther, let us know. Maybe we'll make bumper stickers.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Chuther, or my son is a Chuther.
Dear Chuther of God.
My son is a honor Chuther.
Yeah, he's on the honor Chuther. It reminds me of people will call the NHL the Chell or just Chell.
Yeah.
Reminds you of that.
That's pretty cool.
Or za, like pizza, you know? Topher Grace.
Well, you got to shorten it even more. Chud. Sup, Chud.
Yeah. That's if you're really familiar.
Yeah. That's the next level.
That's when you do like a meetup with like the hardcore Chuthers.
Yeah.
And we got 2 more. Should we play them?
Sure.
This one's from Big Al.
Oh, familiar. Regular caller.
What's up, millennials? I've been ruminating recently, pondering, if you will. Been looking back at my life and analyzing the steps I've taken to make me the man I am today. And I have to be honest, I don't like that man. In fact, I think that man's a huge piece of shit. And I'm thinking about the future, and I'm worried that people can't change. So I have to ask you 3 wise men. Do you think people can change? Thanks.
Nobody cares.
I know I used to be a piece of shit. I don't give a rat's ass.
Can people change? I don't know. We've been talking about this recently, actually.
Have we?
Did I just lose? Did I have another stroke there? Did I say a word right? Anyways, hopefully that can change. We've been talking about this recently, whether people can change or if people are just always kind of the same versions of themselves forever.
Were we talking about this on the podcast?
No, I was talking about this with my significant other, Brooke.
Oh.
Yes.
I think on balance, people don't change. And they especially don't change if other people want them to change. But if there's self-awareness involved, I think people can change, but it takes a lot.
Yeah. Well, David Goggins, what he would say is you can reinvent yourself. You can invent a new David Wiggins.
Sure.
And you can be that person.
But that's really rare. And I think I think the older you get, the more the code in your programming has been pretty firmly written, and it's hard to rewrite that code. So like I once listened to a podcast and they talked about weight loss transformations, like major weight loss transformations, especially people that lose like over 100 pounds. And the success rate of it is like over long term is like less than 1% in terms of maybe not going back to all the way the peak weight they were at, but if, you know, most people, this is a specific sort of thing, but I'm using it as a bit of a metaphor, I guess. But like, if you're really overweight, it's usually not because you're just super lazy and stuff. You're super predisposed to being that way. And so, long story short, I think we're all predisposed to being certain ways, or we've established certain traits and personality quirks and whatever. And it's really hard to rewrite that and then not slip back into it, I think.
Yeah, I think it's hard to rewire your brain in many ways.
Yeah.
You can kind of slowly change your habits.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a teacher I had in high school, science teacher. Oh, I can't remember her name, but her favorite thing, her favorite like motto was, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I used to hate when she said that because I didn't agree with it because I felt, but then every now and then I'm like, oh, I guess this applies here. But also, I don't know. I feel like maybe sometimes I rush through something. I do it a little quicker. It doesn't mean that I do other things and like so hastily or, you know.
I find that with myself a lot where especially when I'm trying to fall asleep at night and the bad voices are pinballing through my brain. I'm like, I'll be like self-identifying the things I don't like about the way I do things, that, you know, doing things hastily or this, that, or the other. And I will see patterns of the same sorts of things applied to various things in my life. And I'll be like, oh my God, it's all one thing. And the other phrase that it reminds me of is you practice like you play. So like professional athletes, it's bad to practice kind of loosely and casually, because you're writing the code in your brain of your level of intensity when you go play a game. So it's actually better to practice as close to as hard as you play without, hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas, if I was practicing throwing something into a cup and then you're kind of getting goofy and loose with it, now you're training yourself to do it in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that you can apply that to anything.
Yeah. I think why I had a problem with that particular teacher using that all the time was because, I don't know, if there was a kid who kind of was falling behind in class and he just didn't care and he didn't study and he put no effort and there was no passion behind it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that he wasn't going to, I don't know, the drama class and he wasn't crushing it and the passion wasn't there and he wasn't studying and he wasn't doing his best to memorize and, showing up. So I kind of felt like it doesn't mean that's how you do everything, but it does mean that how you do something shitty is how you're going to do the same thing shitty forever. Like, you know what I mean there?
Yeah, I think that one's pretty broad. That's a bit too broad.
I felt like it was too broad, but she loved it. She would say it all the time, and it just kind of boiled my blood.
Broad being broad.
Hopefully she's not listening. Well, she is. Let's get her on the pod. Hey, we should get a high school teacher on the podcast. How fun would that be?
One of our high school teachers?
Yeah. We should just go to one of our high schools and just do a podcast.
Did you have any high school teachers that didn't like you?
Didn't like me?
I recently thought of
not
one.
that
I had
not
one.
that I was aware of.
Yeah.
I think I was generally kind of likable.
I had one. I'm not going to say her name, but I used to be a bit of I wasn't that disruptive, but I would like to make jokes in class sometimes. Just, kind of shout something out.
Class clown.
Yeah.
Classic.
A little bit of it. And I think she was going through a rough patch in her life.
Okay.
And I think I just caught her at the wrong time and she just didn't have time for me.
What do you remember the instance?
There was no specific incident I can remember. I think I got kicked out a few times, but I think she knew members of my family or something. She was somehow connected to my family. And then I learned afterwards she was going through a tough time. So I felt bad I found that out 5 or 10 years later because I was in grade 9.
Oh, Davey.
You're a real piece of shit, Dave.
Yeah, I know. I used to be.
How dare you?
Anyways.
No, I think I was generally liked by my teachers.
That's good.
Yeah, there was a handful of teachers that I particularly liked as well. I actually ended up going back to my high school a few years later, and I ended up giving a bottle of tequila to my Spanish teacher.
Were you hooked up with your teacher? That's hot.
What did I say?
No, I'm just kidding.
I went back to my school and I gifted a bottle of tequila. Very stereotypical. Yeah. But he loved it and he was like, "Oh, this is amazing. It's my birthday tomorrow." And I had no idea.
And you gave him a pack of tacos
and a sombrero.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that's cool.
Let's go back and maybe we should just do a live podcast in front of like an entire audience. Like
or
we'll do like an assembly and we'll just do a podcast
like
for
do
everybody.
It in the high school.
Yeah. That's what the kids want.
Wild. Isn't your high school still there, right?
Still there?
Yeah, I thought Jason's or someone's high school was gone.
Mine's still there.
I feel like someone we know's got torn down.
Yeah, there was a school in Richmond, I think, got torn down, but
that wasn't Jason's?
Still standing. No.
Okay.
Jason went to McMath and Hugh Boyd.
My high school's still there. It's like a 70-year-old high school now.
Cove or what was it?
It's called Windsor. And
sounds fancy. Sounds like
the
school.
It's the same high school my mom went to and my aunts.
I think I've said this. I feel like I've said this on the pod before, but my memory of high schools was just who I played against on the volleyball team. So I actually do remember playing Windsor, and they were good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember us even having a volleyball team.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe there was multiple Windsors. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like it might have been like a tournament where people are coming from all across BC or something.
Windsor is the actual last name of the royal family. You know that?
No.
So like Prince Charles is Charles Windsor.
Oh.
And I think it's the House of Windsor.
Is that a fun fact?
That's not the fun fact.
That's not the fun fact of the day?
I did write one for the Christmas special.
What is your fun fact of the day?
Okay, here's my fun fact of the day. It's Christmas related. I got this fun fact from an AI.
From an AI?
From
yeah.
From the chat AI.
What is that called? What's the URL?
It is
There's this
chat.openai.com.
Okay, so it's
crazy.
Oh, you have it. Yeah, it's this like website. You type in any question. You can. We've been asking it to write scripts, and it writes scripts that are actually decent.
This whole podcast is pre-scripted.
We're not actually
from
here.
the AI. Yeah, this is it.
This isn't even Matt's real voice. That wasn't Jason.
This is all deep
SpeakPipe.
fake.
Yeah, this is all deep faked. No, but if you want to nerd out, check this out because it's super cool. Well, obviously we're in the film world, so we were reading this Twitter thread of a guy who wrote a script, and where the AI wrote a screenplay, and then got the AI to write a shot list around that screenplay, and it actually works. Like you could go out and shoot it. And I was thinking, like next year we should write something with the AI.
I'm down to be lazy.
It's crazy, but I mean, there's people who are concerned. They're like I have friends who are like, we're screwed. AI is going to take over. But I just see this as another tool for us to use. I mean, and possibly plagiarize. I don't know.
It's kind of like a mathematician being concerned that calculators are going to take their job. In some ways, right? Like it's a tool. I think there's always going to be things to be a little bit concerned about, but I think what makes art and stuff really sing and impactful is the personal experience behind the person making it.
Yeah.
And that's a really hard thing to simulate. So the only way I could see, for a certain type of content being made being like replicated by AI is if you are literally downloading the sort of memories of a person into an AI, and then that thing is taking that. Like maybe that's how that works one day.
Wow.
Oh my God.
You're blowing my mind. That's some Neuralink.
But I think just I mean, maybe it can already do that. Maybe there is enough data on the internet and in databases to ingest life experiences, but I don't know, whatever.
All right, well, let's see how this AI did on the fun fact.
Here's my fun fact. Mistletoe, which is often associated with Christmas, is a parasitic plant that grows on trees and is believed to have medicinal properties. It was also considered to have magical powers in ancient times and was used to ward off evil spirits.
Parasitic plant? Okay, so it's unwanted.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of parasitic stuff out there.
Yeah, I guess so. Magical powers? Has it been magical enough that you got lucky under the mistletoe, Dave?
I don't think I've ever gotten a mistletoe kiss. I mean, maybe when I was in a relationship.
From your mom?
A lot of deep, passionate kisses under the mistletoe with family members.
Oh, hell no!
We had a fake mistletoe plant in our household. Every year we'd put it up, and I don't know.
You had one in your house?
Yeah, we had it in our house
right.
Growing up. It was like I lived with my grandmother. It was in my grandmother's Christmas decorations. Right. It was just some like fake plant. It would always go up in the same spot, like kind of near the front door. So. And
then she made you kiss her every time?
Yeah, open mouth kiss her every time. It was awkward.
You're going to have to learn someday, Matthew.
Yeah, maybe I should put one up in here and invite Bernice down.
We actually have one more SpeakPipe. Do we want it?
Oh, sure.
It's from Hugh Jass.
Okay, this seems legit.
That was legitness.
Hello, fellas. It's Hugh Jass here from the United Kingdom. Just sitting on my deck chair, having a cup of tea and whinging about the weather while I listen to your guys' podcast. Just want to say, really fucking love it. And yeah, good job, bros.
I can't tell if that's Big Al.
That did sound like it was Big Al.
It definitely wasn't a real British person.
I think you're right about that, Dave.
I think it was Big Al again.
I think you're. Well, my first instinct with that was Big Al.
I think they were sent in the same day too.
Yeah, it almost makes me think that he sent one in and he wasn't confident on his performance, so he's like, shit, I got to put on another character. Let me try this again. or maybe he was like, I don't know if I press send. Let me try it again.
It's hilarious because we're not yet the biggest podcast in the world, but it's funny that if anyone literally just wants to be on the show, they will be guaranteed to be on the show if they send in a message.
Yeah.
And we're giving you lots of airplay here. So
totally. You could promote some shit. You could drop your Insta. You could make fun of us, make fun of, I'd prefer if you made fun of Dave, not me.
This is how advertisers are going to get free ads on the show because we'll just play anything.
Sure. I don't care. Come into our swamp.
I want a Folgers ad. I just want to play the theme song.
That would be a dream. We actually just locked our first sponsor of the podcast coming up. We got to record the...
It's not going to be on this episode.
No. We got to record the ad reads.
It's a big fish.
Super big fish. Unbelievable. Gonna blow your mind. And that's just the start, people. That's just the start.
Right. What else do I have here? I have...
What? Well, wait. This is the Christmas pod. We haven't even talked about Christmas other than mistletoe.
I know. I have some Christmas topics.
You do have Christmas topics?
Yeah. You want to do them?
Do it.
So I wrote out some of my favorite Christmas movies. Do you have any?
Well, last night I watched Love Actually.
So first time?
Yeah, first time. And so that British SpeakPipe was
that was
connecting.
Hugh Grant, actually.
Oh, wow.
Huge ass. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Actually inspired me quite a bit. We have a film job that might take us to New Zealand in February. Mm-hmm. And I was getting a lot of inspiration from this movie.
In what way?
You know what? I get inspiration so many different ways. Just seeing like a funny character with a funny hairdo, like it makes me want to insert that character like that into our thing, or the way that they do kind of like, another adult. Oh, you brought your own bevy.
Yeah.
You dirty dog, you dirty dog. I wish I had a...
Is your cup partially empty?
I'm good. Yeah. I wish I could... I wish I had a third arm so I could have my finger on the soundboard. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I just take inspiration from the weirdest places with movies. I feel like if I don't have much inspiration, I just need to watch a movie, any movie, and I'll get something.
Even like an ad, or just anything to just spark you from that initial nothingness.
Yeah. But that was a good movie. Nice, real heartwarming, good ending. Everybody's, happily ever after.
This is not a Christmas movie, but have you seen About Time?
A Boot Time?
A Boot Time?
No.
It's
Christmas, that's not a Christmas movie?
No, but I think it's the same writer or director as Love Actually.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
Writer or director.
Sorry, I thought you had a stroke there.
I said it right, I think.
No, I thought you said Love Actually.
Love Actually.
Sorry. It's only Mountain Dew.
I'm talking about Mountain Dews, baby.
I think there's a comma in that title, right? It's Love, Actually.
I think it's a semicolon.
I think it's a full colon.
I think it's an ampersand and
is it ampersand or ampersand?
Ampersand.
Ampersand.
It's an ampersand.
I love that latest Sandler movie.
Nice one.
Thank you. But yeah, About Time. It's a time travel movie, which I love, but it's also like a bit of a romantic comedy and a bit of a tearjerker.
Has nothing to do with Christmas.
No, but it's the same guy that made Love Actually. It's British and it's good.
Okay, what was the name again?
About Time.
About Time. A Boot Time. Okay, I won't forget that one.
And there's a young Margot Robbie in it.
So how young?
Like 12.
Okay, I retract my.
I'm kidding. She was like 22 or something.
Okay, very nice. I had or actually they're on this computer in front of me right now. I have a few movies. I just downloaded like a bunch of Christmas movies. I have Bad Santa.
Seen it, yeah.
Couldn't really make it through, to be honest.
It's not my favorite. It's fine.
Funny because what's his name? Billy Bob Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
What is it again?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton. He's in Love Actually and Bad Santa. He plays the president of the United States. Yeah. So funny, opposite characters, right? He plays like the absolute douchiest dirtbag in Bad Santa. I don't know, couldn't really make it through, but we were already on that was our second movie of the night. Before that, we watched for the first time Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase.
Don't love it.
I really enjoyed it.
I actually have that. So I wrote a list.
Why didn't you enjoy it? It's so funny.
I wrote a list of my favorite Christmas movies and my least favorite, or overrated. I won't say least favorite.
I love dumb movies.
I like dumb movies. What I don't love is movies where things go wrong constantly.
Okay.
Like I hate Meet the Parents.
Okay.
Because I don't find it funny. I just find it stressful. And I find Christmas Vacation falls under that category where it's everything is going wrong and it's very like tense, and not that I need everything to be like, I like watching intense thrillers and drama, like things that are actually intense, but if I'm watching a comedy, that's not what I'm there for, and I feel like it just kind of
I'm thinking about like time to buy an e-bike, like one of our films. It's like everything's going wrong. Isn't that kind of isn't that our vibe?
No,
like
but it's not the same thing.
Nothing's coming up Millhouse for Jason.
No, it's not the same. For me, that's not the same thing. And also that's a very condensed compared to an hour and a half of that sort of feeling.
Well, I loved it. And I also loved, I don't know. I mean, when I'm watching these movies, I can't not watch the filmmaking and like the lighting and the shots and all that. So I'm like, there's a scene where he falls through the attic and he like lands on like a bunk bed. I wanted to see like how they piece that together so that, because they do it very simple. Right? Yeah, it's kind of practical, and I love just using simple shots to convey that someone, for example, fell through an attic.
Right.
So I don't know. I just like the easy gags.
No, I don't begrudge anyone that likes that movie.
And probably
I don't think it's a bad movie.
Probably like the standout scene is when he cuts into the turkey and it just goes, and there's just air in it. That was a pretty impressive turkey they built.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. National Lampoon, right?
Yeah.
What is National Lampoon?
It was it started as I think it came off of the Harvard Lampoon, which is like a newspaper in Harvard that's just comedy. So it's kind of like their Mad Magazine.
Okay.
It's satirical. So I think, and it's over 100 years old, I believe. And that's what Conan wrote for. And like all the people that came out of the comedy world that were kind of like Ivy League comedy people went to Harvard and went to the Harvard Lampoon and worked there in college. And then that was, I think, a type of launching pad. Like so many people that end up on SNL and in comedy do like the Groundlings or Second City or all that kind of stuff. And so Harvard Lampoon is a version of that. So a lot of writers come from there, comedy writers.
I see.
So National Lampoon, then people who were part of the Harvard Lampoon left, and then in the, I think late 60s, early 70s, started their own thing, the National Lampoon. And then from that, they started making movies. So they also made Animal House,
which I haven't seen yet. I think that's my dad's favorite comedy, and
that's one of those movies I've started before and then been like, it's just not that I hated it, but it's just older comedies comedy really is hard to hold up.
You know what, I like it, man, because I asked my dad what's the funniest movie you ever seen, and he said that one came to mind.
Yeah,
but I kind of like the old movies because I feel like it's a little bit more simple. Like before watching that one, we watched The Night Before. That's Seth Rogen and
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. And I just feel like there's like too much going on, and there's like the lights are just like so crazy.
It's like over-edited, over-produced.
So many, there's just so much going on, and I was kind of losing track. Mind you, we were making like homemade Christmas ornaments at the time out of clay and stuff. So I was kind of like half looking, half not. But still, I was doing the same during Christmas vacation. So that's why I love the dumb movies. It's a little easier for me to follow along.
I think The Night Before, it's not bad. I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But I do find that when I watch older movies and newer movies, just the pace is so much slower. And the production is so much... Like they just hold on shots longer. Like just it's the sort of attention span thing, right? Like we just have less and less attention span.
I just feel like it could hold up. Christmas Vacation.
I just think a good movie is a good movie. Though. Regardless of kind of how it's composed, I think if there's something to hook onto and it's funny, it'll work.
And the last movie that I have in my my collection here that I haven't watched yet is Four Christmases. Is it worth it?
And I don't even. Okay. Oh, is that like Reese Witherspoon, Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, Vince Vaughn. They have to visit their divorced parents.
I don't think that's considered good.
Okay,
I think I've maybe seen it.
It looked like it was a huge flop on the old Rotten Tomato. Yeah, but what's on your list?
So these are my sort of favorite Christmas movies.
Okay,
they're all certified classics.
Dave is a huge movie buff, huge movie guy.
I'm like medium.
Come on.
So A Christmas Story. Have you seen it?
It's been a while. I feel like I've seen it like bits and pieces, but I've never sat down.
It's always on TV.
Yeah.
So that was always a classic. And the cool thing about that movie is it's set in the 50s. It was made in the 80s. But when I was a kid, I just thought it was made in the 50s because I had no point of reference for like when it was made. So then finding out that
really good.
So then finding out that it's like, oh, it's not that old is kind of funny.
Yeah. Welcome to the next segment. Matt hasn't seen it.
Home Alone.
Oh, I've seen that. Okay. How can I not seen that?
Home Alone's one of those movies where maybe like 5 or whatever, 6 years ago, I hadn't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
And I sat down and watched it and I was like, holy shit, this is so good. It's just so good. Like talk about filmmaking. It's so well made. It's so engaged. Like there's not, I just don't think there's like a loose thread on it. It's just like, it's like a Swiss watch. It's just
a Swiss watch.
Yeah, it's just like every little component.
It's just perfect. That Swiss watch.
And the child performance by Macaulay Culkin is insane. To like make an 8-year-old carry a movie.
Yeah.
He was so famous after that, and it makes sense when I go back and watch it.
Yeah.
You're just like, how is he doing this?
All right, we get it. You like it.
Daddy, chill.
You know what else is impressive though? The BTS where they filmed it in like a was it a swimming pool? Am I mixing this up? Like, did you watch what's that Netflix series where they go behind
the shows that made us or the movies?
The movies that made us. Didn't they film it in a swimming pool so that they could flood?
Which part?
Did they flood the house? Am I getting this wrong?
Oh, I don't remember now.
Wasn't there like a giant flood scene?
There might.
I don't know. But didn't they build the house in a school?
The house is real. There is a real house, but the
interiors they shot inside of a school.
Maybe.
I think the school was about to get demolished. Might be all just garbage, but yeah, I agree. Good movie. But hey, what did the parents do to afford that house?
Oh, they were part of the cartel, I believe.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I see.
I think the dad might have died recently. The guy that played the dad. But I remember hearing stories that like of people, not people I even know telling them, but people like on the internet or whatever talking about meeting the guy that played the dad in Home Alone.
Yeah.
And he, was in his 60s, maybe early, even 70s more recently. And he'd go up to younger people and be like, so I was the dad in Home Alone. Like he would like flex and tell people and kind of like try to get props.
I would buy him a beer if I saw him.
I guess it's just kind of.
I'm rich, bitch.
All right, what next movie?
It's a Wonderful Life. Ever seen it?
No. Oh yes, long time ago.
My mom loves that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
is it black and white?
Yeah, it's B and dub.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a classic.
Yeah.
Here's another one. This is not a Christmas movie, but another mom classic, Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
Because both of these movies, actually, movie fun fact, were flops when they came out. I think. Maybe not flop. Maybe Wizard of Oz wasn't a flop, but It's a Wonderful Life was a flop when it came out. And the reason it's so popular is because it was such a flop that when it came time for movies to get licensed to be put on TV, the people that owned the rights to the movie let the rights lapse, meaning they didn't own the copyright on the movie. And so TV stations could play it for free. And so around Christmas, every TV station started playing it like crazy. Therefore, it becomes a classic. Just like a Christmas Story. It gets played so much on TV, people watch it. And I think a similar thing happened with Wizard of Oz where it just got played on TV so much around Christmas, it became a Christmas classic.
It feels like that's like the new model of just putting your thing out for free on YouTube instead of paywalling it.
Totally. Then I can rattle out the other ones. Elf.
Oh yeah, classic. Well, that's a tradition, Brooks family to watch it every Christmas. So I watch along with them. We didn't watch it. We didn't watch it this season.
I saw that.
It's not officially Christmas yet.
I saw that in theaters when I was like 14 or 15 when it came out.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, I don't know, it was fine. Like kind of being like, kind of felt like it was for babies. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of.
Great Odin's Raven.
How dare you?
And I loved Will Ferrell at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Muppet Christmas Carol. Ever seen that?
No, I don't even think I've heard of it.
Banger. Like it sounds stupid, but
it sounds fun.
No, but it sounds maybe not stupid, but it sounds kind of trivial. Like it's like, oh yeah, the Muppets doing Christmas, but it's like,
yeah,
it gets you in the feels.
Okay.
there's a tiny, I think it's Gonzo plays Tiny Tim, I think. And Tiny Tim has like the kind of, bum leg and a crutch. And he's like, please, sir. And you're sad.
Oh, well, I like the animations and the Pixar. They generally have the pull to heart.
These are puppets.
I know, but like when it's not real actors and stuff, I feel like they're more likely to
puppets, and then they're acting with humans sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool.
So
it's
Michael
like
Caine,
Sesame Street kind of thing.
Michael Caine plays Scrooge.
Michael Caine.
Wow.
Okay.
You just got to say my cocaine and
my cocaine.
Yeah. He's in it, and then the last one is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Ever seen it?
I think so. I think
I put it on a list.
That. Yeah, you recommended that one to me a while ago. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
So that one is there's a debate in the Christmas movie community about what constitutes a Christmas movie, and whether or not something set at Christmas is a Christmas movie or it needs to be about Christmas. I'm firmly of the belief that if it's just set around Christmas, it's got the aesthetic, it's got the vibe, it's got snow and whatever. It's a Christmas movie. Like Die Hard. Die Hard's also on the list.
I don't think I've seen it. I just kind of Googled it quickly here. I
thought
good. I had. I don't think so though. If I've had that thought a while. If we get around to making a movie, would we do one set at Christmas just for the novelty of it?
It's not a bad idea.
It's fun.
It is fun.
You kind of make it this reoccurring thing for
totally
viewers to want to watch around Christmas time. However, you are potentially increasing your set decoration budget because you got to get like the trees and the lights and the ribbons and the fake snow and got to get the carolers and the fruit cake.
Okay, I got to shout out one Christmas movie that I fucking hated.
Okay.
It's called Last Christmas.
All right.
And I'm going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it.
All right. It's okay. No one's even made it here because Jason's not here, so no one's listening. It's fine.
So it's a romantic comedy. It stars Emilia Clarke, who's from Game of Thrones, and Henry Golding, who's from Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
And in it, like she's a bit of a mess in her life, and then she meets this guy and whatever. And the ending is so fucking insane. It's so insane.
This just makes me want to watch it even more. When I hear a movie's so bad, I want to watch it.
No, like
more.
the whole movie's not that bad. The whole movie's pretty mediocre.
Okay.
But the ending is baffling. Okay, so do you know the song Last Christmas?
Last Christmas. Yeah.
I gave you my heart. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the ending of the movie Last Christmas, she finds out that the guy she's been dating, or maybe she's the one, I can't remember which one. One of them is dead and is a ghost.
Okay.
And
this is a huge spoiler.
Yeah, I'm spoiling them. I said I'm going to spoil the movie. And the other one, I think he gave her his heart. So she literally got his heart as a transplant. So the lyrics of the song Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
Yeah.
So it's a weird romantic comedy about an organ transplant where this guy she doesn't know she has the heart of, and then she's seeing and like interacting with. And the whole movie, he's like, oh, I don't have a cell phone. And like, he's making all these excuses. And then like, he never can come to the party or whatever that she's throwing. I don't know. I'm misremembering this movie because I saw it 2 years ago and I hated it. But props for committing to your title of movie and going with lyrics from a Wham song to have your plot. But B, also fuck you for making a terrible movie. I don't know. And I saw it on like a best of list when I was researing.
Oh,
man.
Like,
Jesus Christ.
Dude, these best of lists, there's just like so many, and they're always on like the weirdest, broadest, they know that they're going to get clicks.
Yeah.
The listicles. One that you recommended that I got to watch, I've meant to download it, was Office Christmas Party. Is it worth it?
I don't think I recommended that.
No, you didn't? Okay, so maybe someone else did.
That one was whatever. I think I watched it on a plane once.
You know what I would put in? There's two that I would probably put in. Okay, one of them I haven't seen for a while, but Jingle All the Way.
I don't know if I've ever actually watched that.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's a 90s classic.
Yeah. I have fond memories,
Oh, I thought you were going to say you didn't like it.
No, I liked it. Fond memories. And the other one that I definitely enjoy, I'll give you one hint.
The Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus.
I almost brought that one up. That one is
awesome.
Is a classic.
I love that movie.
Did you realize, I'm guessing no, as a child, that it's called the Santa Claus because it's a clause in the contract?
Like a legal clause. I do know that, Dave.
No, I know you know now, but I remember as a kid, like I was just like, why is it called the Santa Claus?
Yeah, dude, I knew when I was like 2.
When I was 2, I fucking love litigation, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm fired up to watch some more Christmas movies. So what do you have more on that list?
No, those were the main ones I wanted to hit.
Okay, so what was your ultimate favorite? Home Alone?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you didn't like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
It's just not for me.
Yeah.
No. I've given it a few tries. I've kind of like been like, nah, I must like this, and then I don't.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah. Not everything's for everybody. I started making a list of Christmas songs, which is kind of a harder thing to reference because some of the names, like I think one of the best Christmas songs is called The Christmas Song, which is the chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I believe.
Yeah, fire.
And then I got to Baby It's Cold Outside, which is the controversial one.
Mm-hmm. It's because it's like gets all rapey and stuff.
Okay, here's why it's not. Can I go on this?
Please do.
Here's why I think it's not rapey.
Touch that.
So the song is from an era where women were supposed to be more modest and not like, sexual.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole song, she's playing this little game where she's like, oh, I really should go. She's making up excuses why it's like she's supposed to be the good girl.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean she actually wants to leave. She's playing into the social role that she's supposed to play as a woman of that era.
Okay.
Right? Where she's like
yeah.
not supposed to want to stay over.
Yeah.
And it's this little cat and mouse cutesy thing where he's playing his role as the guy that's supposed to be sort of, persuading her. And you know what I mean? Like they're playing their little gender role. But it's not meant to be like, she's like, oh shit, how the fuck do I get it? Like, that's not why they wrote it that way. Like,
yeah,
the intentionality wasn't that. Like, maybe you could misconstrue it in this modern era, but that's clearly what they meant, where she was like, oh, I don't know about this. And he's like, come on, we can go by the fireplace. She's like, oh, I gotta work in the morning. And he's like, come on. She's like, I don't know. Like, she wants it.
You're canceled, dude.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. Anyways. I apologize for that.
Yeah, so...
Oh, I agree. I mean, it was different times, right? Different intentions. And you can kind of tell that like tone in her voice. Like, I gotta go home.
I know. She's being all
wink, wink, wink.
saucy. Yeah. She's not like, I think I'm gonna get molested.
I think he's got a knife.
I've got 911 on speed dial.
He locked the door. Yeah.
I just think it's silly. It's silly.
I mean, it's not fully canceled. You still hear it like when you're walking through the
it's pretty canceled.
It's pretty canceled.
There's been a lot of like op-ed pieces and things written about it.
And you brought it up here.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
I gotta make that fire social clip, get people riled up.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We talked about best Christmas movies. Now you talked about the worst Christmas song. You wanted to talk about some gifts?
I got some gifts.
I was thinking about gifts and not GIF gifts. Best Christmas gifts.
I believe that's pronounced GIF, Matthew.
Is it GIF or GIF?
It's definitely GIF.
It's wait, what did I say? GIF?
No, you said GIF.
GIF? Now I don't even know.
It's GIF.
GIF. Gifts as in presents. I don't know, man. I feel like the best gift. I have one that always comes to mind.
Mm-hmm. I have one.
Mine was. I don't know why this one always comes to mind. It must have changed my life. My parents gave me a tracing table. Like it was like a light table.
Oh.
So it was like just like a plastic kind of hollow case with a little light bulb inside. Super low watt light bulb. And it would just help you put an image down and then put a piece of tracing paper or regular paper over top and just trace an image.
That's fun.
And I think that it really helped me learn to draw and also maybe plagiarize. And I kind of think I used that thing. I got it when I was really young and I used that thing all through elementary school, all through high school. Like if I still had it, I'd be using it. If I still had it, I'd probably be gifting it to my niece right now so she could use it. But I kind of feel like there's something there with how I create because I kind of take something that exists, and like I use that for inspiration, and I go from there and kind of maybe turn it into my own thing. Same with the film. Sometimes I take something that already exists and I kind of remix it, turn it into my own thing. But that was probably the best gift I can recall.
Well, someone really smart once told me the way you do one thing is how you do everything.
You know what? I can't agree more. That's what I live by too.
I can't remember if I had one of those, or if someone I knew had one, but I remember that sort of thing. Sorry, I'm just realizing I have been shirking my responsibility for sounds.
Absolutely, I've been going hard.
Oh, yeah.
Nice one.
I think you might have already done that one. Shit.
Give me the best gift. What is it?
The best gift? Oh, my best gift.
Yeah, give me your best gift.
Did you guys ever play like hot and cold with a gift? Like, did you ever have a family member hide a gift?
No. Okay, maybe, but that doesn't come to mind. That's
when
fun,
I want to say I was 5 or 6. We were at my grandparents' place, and they had this decent, like pretty big house. Not like crazy, but it was one of those houses that had lots of spaces. So I guess big. I'm like trying to find other adjectives to describe a large space. And so they're like, okay, the last gift, like we'd gone through all the gifts there, and they're like, okay, well, last gift is for the 3 of you, being my 2 sisters. And they're like, okay, start walking through the house. And they're like, cold, colder, hotter, etc.
Then they stuffed you in the freezer.
Yeah. It was a Hansel and Gretel situation. They wanted to eat us. Anyway, so we ended up going into like an attic, right? And I genuinely, as a 5-year-old, I just didn't know what we were getting, right? And we get into this attic and it's like warmer, and then we walked behind like a chest freezer, and we found a Super Nintendo. To this day, I think it's the most excited I've ever been for almost anything.
Yeah.
Like I was...
Were you like the Nintendo 64 kid?
Like actually, yeah. Like actually, because I was just that perfect age. And the cool thing was my sisters were still into video games at that age. By the time we got sort of a Nintendo 64 and, I got a PlayStation 2 eventually, my sisters were just done with video games. They kind of aged out of it, which is a topic for another day. Cause I think girls, at least of sort of our generation, were trained to not be into video games as much. Like it was more of a boy thing, which I kind of think is a bummer because I had so much fun playing video games with them when I was little, but then once they were a bit older, they just weren't into it. But we were all so excited for that Super Nintendo. Perfect. Yeah. You gotta watch our version of that.
Yeah. We just posted on our IFHD Films Instagram our side-by-side remake of the original Nintendo 64 kid and our version of Jason reenacting move by move that clip in our video, How to Be a 90s Gamer. And oh God, that's funny. You were dying of laughter. Eh?
Like, so I edited that clip together this morning, and every time I watched it, I was like crying, and I was just playing it, full volume off my laptop. I'm like, I wonder if a neighbor is hearing this. I wonder if Bernice upstairs is hearing this.
It was pretty funny. We were with Brooke's family today, and we showed it to everybody. It's too good not to show. Well, actually, now that you bring it up, I was pretty excited that we had got a Nintendo 64 at some point with Diddy Kong Racing, and then at some point later on, we got a PS1 with Tony Hawk. But I think it was more gifted to maybe like my brother, or like he was older, 6 years older than me, so it kind of was like
6 years,
6 years older.
Oh, that's my oldest sister as well.
So which is a funny age because when he graduated high school, I immediately got into high school, so I never had the crossover of being in high school with him.
You always feel in very different spots. Yeah, but I had the other sister to kind of bridge the sibling gap.
I see. What about your worst? Or no, actually, best gift you've given someone. How about that? So the best gift is probably I gave my dad a mountain bike. But I did a job. I did a video, like a Christmas video for Rocky Mountain Bicycles, and I asked them, instead of paying me, give me a bike, and I worked on that, and I gave my dad a bike, and he almost cried. He might have cried. He had walked away. He had to go upstairs. All of a sudden, he was like, "Where is he?" He's upstairs. having a little cry, and then he came downstairs and gave me a hug, and it was the only time I ever hugged my father. It was very nice.
My sisters
that was a good moment. Yeah,
my sisters make fun of me because my dad and I don't really hug, and they're like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, I think it was a couple Christmases ago.
Yeah, do you handshake?
We shook hands, and they thought we were psychotic.
Oh well, that's what I want with my future son.
It's a firm handshake.
A firm handshake relationship.
Best gift I've given. I bought a lot of sort of concert tickets and stuff for like, my parents and whatever. Like I try to get that sort of like, let's go do a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really comes to mind right now, but I can tell you the best gift I didn't mean to give.
Okay.
So my parents are not...
clap. Sorry.
Ooh.
Dave's ex.
This is awkward.
Right.
Chlamydia. No. So my parents are not that technologically savvy. They're not the worst. It's not the best. And I was like, you guys should get a Sonos speaker. And they were like, that's a good idea. We should get
What is that?
Sonos?
Yeah.
You don't know what Sonos is?
Well, no. What? No, I do. I'm informing the audience.
Okay, well, I don't know. I can't tell if you're playing a character.
No, I don't. I have no fucking idea what that is.
So Sonos speaker is a speaker.
It's a Bluetooth speaker?
It's not Bluetooth. It connects to your network.
Oh, okay.
So it's like high end, and then you can get multiple
like
of
an
them.
Alexa kind of thing?
No.
Okay. Nah, I don't know, man.
So basically the way it works is like a Bluetooth speaker connects to your phone via Bluetooth, but then if you get a call or whatever, like it's going to boot the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a Sonos speaker will connect to your Wi-Fi network, and then you play music, but then it continues to play regardless of what's happening on your device. And then you can get multiple of them, and you can have string 10 of them together and have them in different rooms and create this whole network of speakers. Anyways, it's a high-end sort of gift. And they're like, depending upon the one you get, I think the one I bought was like $500 before tax. It was like $600. And then I was like, oh, you guys should also get a speaker bar for your TV. And they're like, that's a good idea. We'll buy that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I can order those. And then I think it was, I don't know if it was on Christmas Day, but it was right around Christmas. I brought them over and they were like, oh my God, thank you. They were so appreciative. And then I didn't have the heart to ask for the money back, but I was out like $900. And I was like, stupid. I don't know what you do with your family, but I don't buy $900 gifts.
I don't know. Sometimes I do.
Okay, well, I'm not that generous.
I don't know. It's like once you're generous, it's a slippery slope if you got to keep being generous. I don't know. I did buy my parents tickets to Hawaii a couple of years ago, a few years ago too.
Well, you're a better person than me.
But yeah, I used to be a piece of shit.
Yeah. Usually my family and I, it's like there's like a $90 cap, and we're just kind of getting each other.
Yeah,
smaller things.
I don't know. I don't really know where we stand now. My brother and I, my brother just told us straight up, like, let's not buy gifts for each other anymore.
Yeah, I'm
a homeowner now. I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
I don't have time for this.
Well,
which is fine. It's great.
You get in that dance of like, well, I'm going to spend $200 on you, and you're going to spend it on me, and we're both maybe not going to hit the mark, but we each spent $200.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't really think of that. My grandma told me like years ago. She said like, you're always so thoughtful with your gifts. You give very thoughtful gifts, and I think that's nice. I would, I try to give gifts that make a difference, not just thinking of like the money thing. Yeah, and you're giving me $200, so I'll give you $200. I try to give something that actually makes a difference. I don't know. I hate buying like bullshit. I hate spending money on just crap gifts.
Well, that's part of the problem too.
Yeah.
I just find it hard. I just don't know how to get people.
Yeah.
I think girls are harder to buy for.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sisters.
I feel like I'm hard to buy for, honestly.
Oh, well, me too. I'm terrible.
I went to this like influencer YouTube party. And
you're always going to those.
Never. But like a friend of a friend invited us, and I was like, oh, I'd usually say no, but I was like, okay, sure, why not? Let's do it. And I got another YouTuber. Like we did a Secret Santa, right? You draw the name or whatever, and I got this YouTuber from Vancouver who I'd never heard of. His name's JJ McCullough, I think. And he makes YouTube videos every week, and he has this background behind him where it's just like tons of stuff that's like meaningful to him. And I added one thing to his wall of stuff, I added a painting. I made him a Mr. Sparkle painting, which is actually something that I originally made my brother, because we're both huge Simpsons fans. And I knew that this guy, JJ, he spent some time in Japan and he was a huge Simpsons fan. So I was like, maybe I'll just redo what I made before. So I made him that. And then another YouTuber got me his name's Derek Gerard. Hopefully we'll have him in the podcast sometime in the next couple months.
Mm-hmm.
Get to know him a little bit more. But he gave me this, like, it's kind of like a balsa wood camera. It's just over there. I'll show you later. It's like a film camera. So you build up a balsa wood camera and then you could put film in it and then you can like you hand crank it and it projects on the wall, which is pretty cool. I thought like maybe we could do some creative thing with it.
I sometimes just hand crank and onto the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's figure this out after the pod. And and then he also gave me like a universal lens cap. But I think, you were saying it's hard to shop for people, like, let alone your family. How about a bunch of YouTubers who you don't even know? You have to buy gifts?
No, but here's why I'm going to disagree with you.
Because you just don't know them?
No, because you know that someone that's a quote-unquote YouTuber has a pretty specific interest set in terms of they're doing video creative work. So it gives you a nice niche where if you have a family member or something where they don't have like a super identifiable favorite thing, I find it harder.
Maybe, but at the same time, like JJ, he makes videos about nearly everything. I know he's like, he loves Canada, he loves drawing, like, and then there's
but
me.
You could
it's
literally
like,
go to a YouTube page and watch something and be like, oh, this guy's talking about things he's in. Like he's put boundaries around the things he enjoys.
Yeah, it's like everything. And then, I don't know. I just felt bad. I was like, I feel bad for whoever gets me because it's like, he likes expensive cameras.
Yeah.
Right. What else? He likes expensive bikes.
This reminds me of Dr. Frog.
What's that?
Dr. Frog?
Dr. Frog?
Or Mr. Frog? Dr. Frog?
I don't know. Is this another movie you hate?
No.
Okay.
Brooks' dad.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Doc Froggy.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. So like someone did. So somehow someone gave him a frog once.
Yeah.
And then now everyone just gets some frog stuff.
Yeah. So he's a retired doctor, and the patients would give him like crystal frogs. And then it just kept going and going and going to the point where he had to give away his frogs.
Yeah.
So what? Wait, what do you mean? Like now people are going to keep giving?
No, I'm just saying that's helpful.
Yeah. It is helpful, but then it just becomes a nuisance. He's like, oh my God, another freaking
it's not helpful for the
person.
It's not helpful for the person receiving.
No.
It's totally helpful for the gift giver.
No, and then you just become this like meme kind of gift receiver. Like, oh yeah, you know me, I love whisks. Yeah, give me whisks. So give me a 90 whisks now. Yep, love that.
I feel like I'm such a bad gift receiver because I don't know what I want, but I want you to get me something that I haven't thought of.
Yeah.
And then you give it to me and I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Like,
yeah. I'm the same. Brooke and I were having this conversation because her family, they communicate very well. I want this, get me this. Here's the link. And they'll just,
I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
It ruins it. I'm like, I'll just go get that for myself.
Because then it's like, okay, so you're just spending $200 on me.
Well, that's what I mean by that.
I'll give you $200. Well, why don't you just literally just exchange money?
But that's
at that point, why don't you just do nothing?
That's how I feel.
I'll just order it out on Amazon myself.
Yeah, no, that's no good.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I like the, you have to do a deep dive on my personality and find out what I truly want to the point where I don't even know that I want that.
There needs to actually be the risk that you're going to get something bad. Like,
oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's something there.
Not bad, but just something you're not, it needs to be, I don't know, some sort of surprise. Like, don't wrap it then. If you know exactly what you're gonna get, don't wrap it.
I don't want to know what I'm getting. I want the surprise. I want to open it and I want to feel like I'm I'm finding out what's in the treasure chest.
I did used to.
That is not. That's that. I meant to play Zelda treasure chest opening, but somehow there's helicopter attached to that. This is the wrong sound.
Wait. Oh God. I don't know how to restart a sound on this app.
There's every podcast we do, 5% of it is us talking about the sandboard, which is that?
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
Oh, nice.
When I was a kid, I used to, at a certain age, when I got good with computers, I would make my Christmas wish list on not on Microsoft Word, but on the Mac version at the time. I can't remember what it was called. Claris Works, I think. And I would go on the internet and find literal pictures of the things I wanted, and then and I would put way more than I knew I was going to be able to get. So the surprise was, my mom didn't get a lot of the things half the time. Anyways, she would just freestyle it, but I would spend like a week doing that, like in my free time, just like thinking about what I wanted. And
wait, so you'd like print them out or something?
Yeah, I'd like Photoshop it basically.
Okay,
but
and then you make like a dream board?
Yeah, but it would be one sheet usually, maybe two, and I would even get down to like stocking stuffers and like what candy I might want. And I would be sometimes restricted to what I could find an image of for something like candy. And I'd be like, I'll have to do Swedish berries. Because I couldn't find something more abstract that I couldn't either think of or find on the internet.
Another gift that I received that I was pretty excited about was Banjo-Tooie.
Ooh, that was a good one.
When I got that game, that was the best thing as a kid, getting the game, and then you have like a week or two off of school, and you just spend 2 weeks in your bedroom playing games straight from morning to night, eating the chocolate out of your stuffing. Very privileged lifestyle, but
yeah,
it is what it is, and that was fun.
Last New Year's Eve, my friends and I had like 3 friends over for New Year's Eve, and we played Mario 64 front to back.
Oh yeah,
like that was our New Year's Eve.
The first time you played it, like it was brand new?
No, this was last year.
Oh, last year. Oh, what? I thought you were saying like when it first came out.
No, I don't know why. Mike, I think he had started getting into the idea of speed running it or something. Like I don't think he'd actually put the effort in yet, but it was just like, yeah, we're just gonna sit and try to beat Mario 64, and we would pass the controller around, take turns. It was so fun. We might do it again this year.
I'm still a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
we're fucking done.
I think that wraps the Christmas special. Jason was
Great. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Jason was very well missed.
Mm-hmm.
But his spirit was here with us, and he did call in. Apparently he's having a party, it sounds like. Kind of sounded a little fake. I don't trust that he's actually sick.
We both know he's pretty sick, though.
He is pretty sick.
Yeah. He sent a good meme about that, but we can't show that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could throw it in.
Pop it up. Yeah. And because of the snowpocalypse here, sounds like we're going to have an off week next week. We won't have a podcast next week because this was supposed to be the podcast that comes out the following week.
Yeah, we're not going to do one next week.
But we do have a surprise guest.
And his name is John C.
I'm just kidding. We don't have a surprise guest. We will have no podcast.
I mean, that's a good reference because you could have said that he was here this whole time, but he's invisible.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, John.
He's a ghost.
Yeah.
Wait,
do you know that joke, though? That John Cena's invisible?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's like a whole thing.
No.
In his wrestling career, he did this whole like can't see me thing.
And no, I didn't watch wrestling.
No, neither did I.
Oh.
But I just know the reference now.
You just were with it.
I did watch wrestling at a certain age, but then I much before John Cena.
Okay.
But you'll see a lot of memes on Reddit and the internet where it'll be like a picture of John Cena and some person, and they'll be like, "Why is so and so by themselves doing this?" And he's with the whole jokes. You can't see him.
I see. Well, you know what? Maybe I should catch up on my WWE one of these days.
You should.
And I guess that's the last podcast of the year.
Yeah. Congrats.
That's it. Congrats. This is the first year. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. We actually did it. We've been talking about doing the podcast. Should we? I got one sip.
I had a tiny drizzle.
Yeah. Oh, don't you got more beer in there?
Yeah, but I got to drive home eventually, so I'm trying to keep it mellow.
It's going to put that in your cup holder?
Yeah. Well, I need something for the ride home, right?
Yeah. We wanted to do this podcast for a couple of years. We must have been talking about it, but
yeah,
it took time, and now we finally have some momentum, and we actually have like a proper schedule going, and we actually have the next month booked for guests, and we appreciate you guys leaving reviews. We got this one review said, entertaining podcast, the ones where it's just Dave and Jason and Matt are the funniest. Well, hey, I don't argue with you there.
Sorry to disappoint today with no Jason though. So this is probably only like a 3-star.
The next review might be the ones with just David and Matt are the funniest.
The best, yeah. You can cut that dead weight.
Then maybe I'll be sick, and the next review will be just the ones with Dave are the best.
Do you want to read the one beside that though?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Good but confused. But butt is spelled with 2 T's.
Yeah, it's
very nice.
Like a butt.
Only 4 stars because I'm confused on whether or not I like Dave.
But they wrote weather like the weather. Like snow.
Yeah, and that was sent in by Weirdo. You know what? That seems to be the popular opinion.
I know. People are not sure about me.
But that's good because it's a slow grow. People need to get to know you. Yeah.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
Mm-hmm. And another review coming in here. W Pod, I'm 14 and I'm really inspired by y'all and the people that come in this channel. It's so funny and cool stories and it's fun to listen to. I listen to it when I trail build. Massive W. That's cool. Shout out to you guys actually being productive and listening. But yeah, thanks for everybody who's stuck with us so far.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to all the chuthers.
Yeah, shout out to the chuthers. We're still going hard. We're gonna keep going. It's fun to do these, just us. There's no sense of are we gonna offend the guest? We just we're friends. We can shit on each other. We can step on each other's toes. There's no fear in that way. But it's fun to have people in and have the opportunity to talk to them and learn. It's as much as it's just a conversation. It kind of is like a collaboration. And when we make YouTube videos, it's hard for us to do a collaboration with many people because it takes a long time to make videos in a traditional collaboration. So in this way, it's easy to just get people in and do a quick collab and get to know people. So we will still have guests, but if there's any people that you want to see on the show, send us that message because it's easy for us to just send a message to someone and see if they want to come through.
And if anyone actually knows someone that's good, hit them up on our behalf.
Yeah. Or, hey, if you got a funny story or if you think you're worthy of being on the podcast.
SpeakPipe, baby.
SpeakPipe or hit us up and maybe we'll have you be on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. If you got an hour's worth.
Yeah.
Come on.
An hour's worth, yeah. And we are looking at a new space. We're looking at possibly our first office space and building out a little studio. Nothing's certain, but we'll see. We'll keep growing this baby and, we'll keep going. But for now, that's it. Thank you to sick Jason Lucas and the ghost of John Cena for joining us today and letting us feed off you. Dave, I'm very metaphorically full today. I'm also physically full. I had an open-faced turkey sandwich today and a cup of eggnog here, so I am full in many ways. Dave, you have anything to promote? Home Alone?
Yeah, Home Alone. And Home Alone 2, Lost in New York City. Also great.
Go watch a Christmas movie, everybody. Thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe and rate our show on whatever platform you're listening on. If you drop a banger review, we will read it. Oh, and I was gonna write some. I was gonna send stickers to someone today. I'm sending stickers to Justin Woodman. He left us a comment on our last podcast with Darren Butler. And it was a great comment. So Justin, I'm hunting you down, and I'm gonna find your address. I'm sending you stickers. So thanks.
This just in. He's going to send you stickers.
That's it. And as always,
nom nom
nom
nom
nom nom nom nom nom nom
nom nom.
Thank you for listening to Feeding Off Each Other. Please subscribe for more great podcasts.